Hi, welcome. My name is Yves Massa with HID Global, and today we'll talk about moving beyond FIDO so that you can go towards a converged physical and cyber credential for your enterprise deployment for your employees and your contractors. Just a quick word on HID Global. HID Global powers the trusted identities of the world, people, places, and things. We provide secure identities for government organizations, for things like passport, driver license. Also, we secure employees and contractors that need to access their organization, whether it's going through the door or accessing their IT capabilities. And we also secure things like physical things that needs to be tracked with RFIDs and the likes. Today, we're going to talk about our experience with enterprise, the enterprise needs and consideration when it comes to authentication, and what are the technologies that can be applied beyond FIDO. FIDO is a great technology that is showing a lot of promises. However, there are some areas where FIDO may not be completely ready or may not be completely adopted by the ecosystem. An organization might need to look at what are their options until those areas can be brought up to speed and can fully embrace FIDO. And we'll talk about recommendations. So today's enterprise needs are complex, varied, and are constantly changing. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But basically, the infrastructure and the ecosystem that an organization had 20, 15, 10, or even 5 years can be very different today. With the advent of cloud technology, people that are now much more on the road or actually working from home much more than that was the case today. And also the advent of mobile technologies means that what an organization had in its ecosystem a few years back might be very different to what it's using today. HID, as the world's leading provider of enterprise credential, we know what an organization needs in order to be able to access both their physical and their digital places in a way that's secure. So today, an enterprise ecosystem from the user standpoint, it may be very varied. It obviously changes from organization to organization. I'm not necessarily showing something that covers every possible scenario, but a lot of organizations might recognize themselves in that plethora of applications and plethora of ways to access those applications. You've got your users that traditionally would have been on the enterprise premises protected by a firewall that today, especially today with the pandemics, is likely working from home, not in the corporate network, but accessing Wi-Fi and connecting through all its application from its home office. Some of those applications might be cloud applications that the user accesses directly. There might be cloud applications that are protected by an IDP, the IDP providing the authentication and authorization before the cloud apps is actually accessed. The IDP might also protect on-prem application. The IDP essentially providing the identity provider, essentially providing a single sign-on experience so that the user only has to authenticate once with one credential and have access to all those applications, whether they are cloud-based or on-prem based. The employee or the contractor might be accessing applications that are proxied. Those applications might be on the enterprise premise, but might be accessible over the internet via some kind of proxy. The employee also might be connecting through the company network using a virtual private network, and from there accessing any application that's on premises. And then, from time to time, he might actually visit the premise and might actually need to open the door in a secure fashion. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ways to access the application depending on where they are located and also depending on where they're protected. and it's quite common in an organization to have a mix and match of all those different things. Ideally, an organization would standardize in one way to protect their application, but in the real world, it's often not the case. Often organizations have planned to move toward that, but it takes time. There's a lot of things that needs to be updated before the organization can move to that vision. So from a creation standpoint, it would look a little bit different. At the center would be your credential. They might be hosted on a phone, on an access badge, on a key of some kind of sort. And they would be used with your logical access. That's where you would have your IDPs. That's where you would have your VPN, or you would access directly your application. And similarly, those credentials, if you're going for a converged credential, might also be used to open the door to your office. You might be simply waving a card to in front of the door, and the door would magically beep and open itself. Or you might be using your phone to do the same thing. And then you probably want to also have a digital credential management that will be able to manage the life cycle of those credentials. It's not just about giving the secure credential to the user, and now that user can simply use it and securely authenticate to all its resources. But the life cycle of that credential also has to be managed. User might lock the card or the key with entering an incorrect number of PIN code. The user might forget their PIN card, their card, lose their key, or maybe the user left the organization and you want to make sure that you can turn off that credential, even if you didn't collect it from the user before he left the organization. And that's what a digital credential management solution would help you ensure that you can manage the life cycle of those credentials from its inception all the way to its termination. In terms of use cases, it might go well beyond just authentication. Authentication is, of course, the one that you will most likely start from, but there's a lot that you can build on top of just purely authentication. So you might use that credential to securely authenticate to your laptop or your computer. You would also use that to secure access to your network, IT application, and systems, not just logging into your computer, but also logging into your application. So that's really the core use case of authentication, for which FIDO is suited so well. But there are also other capabilities or technologies that you might need to leverage for that as well. You would also use that to secure access to your cloud application, which might not be your enterprise application, but application that you subscribe from, like Office 365, G Suite, Dropbox, and so on. In addition to that, you may decide to also that you want to protect your printers, so that when you print something, only the person that actually sent the print job to the printer would be able to pick up that printout. Not everybody needs that capability, but for organizations that might fall under specific rules and regulation, whether it's in healthcare, in financial, in government, that's a capability that sometimes is required in order to meet those mandates and regulation. You might also want to digitally sign documents so that you can prevent somebody to tamper with those documents and verify that it came from the right person. You might also want to protect your data and your communication with things like digital certificates, where you can digitally sign and encrypt those data, whether they're at rest or in transit, making sure that only the recipient will be able to view that data and modify that data. You might also want to do things like secure access to your workplace, where the same credential that you use to authenticate to your cloud application might also be used to open the door to your office. And you might even go even further and also do things like cafeteria billings and the like. If once we're out of this COVID world, even when people go back in the office and have access to the corporate cafeteria, so that they can pay with just their badge instead of having to pay with a card or with cash. And finally, you might also want to make sure that you comply with mandates and regulation. We touched a little bit about that earlier, talking about the secure printing. But what we see is, depending on the industries, a lot of people have actually mandates and regulation that they need to meet that go well beyond that, in terms of making sure that only the right person have access to the data and nobody else. And so looking at how you choose your authentication solution can have a big impact in terms of how can you comply with that mandate, and also how can you provide proof of audits. When you go through an audit, your auditor will ask you for proof that you meet those mandates, and the choice of your authentication technology can greatly simplify your ability to pass the audits when it's time to do that, whether it's on a yearly basis or every few years. Making the right choice in terms of the technology that you deploy greatly help in that aspect. So things that you should consider. We talked about all those different use cases that might be of interest. The first thing that you want to do is take a catalog of everything that your user population uses, and what type of level of security those applications support. So that will really help you determine what kind of authentication solution you'll need to deploy. You'll find that it's rare to have a one-size-fits-all. That might be the goal, but quite often you will have some application that might not support the latest and greatest technology. And that's where, when you choose your credentials and your authentication capabilities, choosing a technology or devices that can support different security protocol, different security standards in one device might make a big difference for you. There's also many additional factors that you might want to consider. In addition to that, the access pattern of your workforce might be a way to add additional layers of security beyond pure authentication. You want to make sure that the credentials that you're choosing integrate easily into your IT infrastructure. As we talked about earlier, if you have any compliance standards for data protection, whether it's for government or for industry, you definitely want to take those in account as you're choosing your authentication solution. You might also want to think about what plan do you have for any expansion or major changes to your workforce, as this might be a convenient time to roll out a new authentication technology. So, for example, if you were planning to rebadge your users, or maybe you're going to go through an acquisition, that might be a good time to implement new security as well and roll them out to that population first, and then you can extend to the rest of your workforce once you've done that first phase of the deployment. So as we talked about, FIDO is really a great technology to deploy when it comes to authentication. It's modern, it's standard-based, it's at this point now, it's really well supported into the ecosystem, but there might be a reason why it would not fit for every use cases that you might have out there. And here are some technologies that, access technologies that you might want to consider to be able to plug those gaps and ensure that you can cover as many use cases that you have, even if those use cases don't support FIDO today in a way that that works for you. So one such technology is public key infrastructure. It's been the gold standard in terms of security for quite a while before FIDO came into the fold. It's used to provide not only authentication but also additional capabilities like digital signature, email signing, and also trust. So you can implement federation and trust across different security boundaries using PKI. It traditionally might have been difficult to deploy. Things are a little bit easier nowadays. Now, of course, FIDO is much easier to deploy, but for the areas where use cases that FIDO doesn't cover, it's a proven technology that really can provide you additional capabilities beyond just FIDO. Another technology to consider is a one-time password. It gives you a level of security that's much better than password. It's definitely not as good as FIDO, but you will find application that needs to be updated that may support one-time password while they may not support FIDO. And so this might be a good transition to still get you further from simple passwords while you wait for those applications to be updated and then transition them towards FIDO. Then the last technologies to consider is on the physical access side. There's a number of technologies there that are industry standard that you can leverage to and have a single credential for your user that will be able to both open the door and then use those other technologies when it comes time to accessing your cloud apps, your IT application, and your IT ecosystem. Also, when it comes to the credential, you also have choices in terms of form factor. You might be using an access badge that you use to open the door, and then you can use to authenticate to your application. That access badge could also be printed, so you could have your organization logo, maybe a picture of the employee, maybe his first name, last name. That's quite common in many organizations all across. But you can also choose other form factor as well that would provide maybe not all those use cases, but a lot of those use cases still in those different form factors. So you could have that as a small USB key that you can tap via NFC to authenticate to your devices, or that you can just plug into your laptop. And then you could also have those credentials in the form of an app on your phone, where the app can then be used to authenticate to your application, and also in some cases authenticate to your laptop as well, where your phone is used to authenticate to your laptop. You could also have apps on your phone that also are used to open the door to your offices as well. So some question to ask when you're considering a solution. What are the technologies that you will need in terms to integrate into your IT ecosystem? Will the technology help you get away from all the pains and burdens that comes with password, which is what most people use today? Ask about the form factor, what kind of form factor will work for you. You can also consider whether you might want to have a converged badge. With the idea when you have a converged badge is that you simplify a lot of the things. You simplify things for your help desk people and your security people in terms of the logistics, in terms of also the compliance and the security, with the idea that when you revoke your badge, that would revoke access to both physical access, but also access to your IT ecosystem. So that means that you have less chance of having access revoked on one side, but not on the other. And then for the end user, it's more convenient because they only have one thing to carry instead of having to carry multiple things. So some final thoughts. You want to understand your ecosystem, make sure you understand what is it that you're trying to protect, because a lot of the particularities of your ecosystem will really drive what solution would be better and how to deploy that. So that's very important. Understanding the use cases that you want to provide to your user population. Don't stop at authentication. Authentication is absolutely where you want to start, but think about how could you provide additional value off of your investment that would go beyond just authentication. Think about your specialized requirements. Maybe this might be an industry-specific regulation that you need to meet. Maybe this might be an in-country regulation that would affect some of the things that you might do. Think about the different authentication technologies that are available to you and how you might be able to combine them. There are options out there where you can have one authenticator that support multiple authentication technologies. And so this gives you more options, especially when it comes time to transition from legacy application to more modernized application. You can support your old ways of accessing application and then just turn on the new ways to access your application without having to actually change the authenticator. So a little bit of planning here goes a long way. And then you want to consider the end users, how they will use that, and what choice in terms of form factors you might use. Somebody that's working at a desk might not really care about the form factor and might be happy with all of those. Somebody that might be working more in a sales environment on a shop floor might have different needs and requirements. And if you're in a factory, you might have some needs that might be completely different, right? If you're in a foundry, your users that might need to access a kiosk in a secure fashion might be wearing protective gears, and they might not be able to plug a USB key, or they might not be bringing their phone on the shop floor, and you might need to look at different things like maybe a wristband and things like that. So the different use cases and the different specifics of your user population might also really greatly impact what you want to choose in terms of form factor. So in conclusion, thank you very much for watching this presentation. And if you have any question, please feel free to contact us at imsales@hidglobal.com, also at hidglobal.com/FIDO, and also visit us at our booth for any additional question you might have. Thank you very much.